Hello there everybody, welcome to a real sunny and warm Sundsvall day again. We had a terrific start of the summer, no doubt. I'm sitting here on a balcony drinking iced tea and going to do part 3 of my collection series, the new series where I'm showing my collection from one certain artist. And today it is about a duo that I have been listening to since around 1985. I think I heard the first song with this duo containing of Paul Humphreys and Andy McCluskey, otherwise known as the OMD, Orchestral Manouvers in the Dark. A magnificent synth pop band from the 80s that are still with us, and as I said, I discovered my first OMD song in 1985. I can reveal which song it is already, because unfortunately I don't have that one as a single yet. I remember listening to the legendary Swedish hit chart called Tracks in the radio, and I heard the song Secret, that I was really amazed about that. I really loved when I heard it the first time. I really loved it, and on that way it was then all the way when it comes to OMD. And I also been discovering them, of course, backwards before Secret. So I don't have a complete OMD collection. I thought I had a complete 80s collection, but I realized that I don't. But I have a pretty good collection from what they have been releasing. So hopefully you will enjoy it. Starting with the albums. This time I'm taking the albums separately and the singles separately. Starting with the full-length vinyls and their first album. The self-titled from 1980. Containing Electricity. You who follows this channel knows that I bought this pretty recently in November. And we have Organization, containing one of their most popular songs, Enola Gay. Of course, a real classic, no doubt about it. Maybe not the strongest in my opinion, but it has synth pop all the way. Definitely a real great OMD album. Architecture and Morality. Not the most perfect sleeve, but I still have it. With Joan of Arc, Souvenir. She's Leaving, Maid of Orleans. Also a really great album. I think this is even stronger than Organization, but it's a great synth pop album nonetheless. In 1981. Then 1983. Dazzle and Ships. This one I remember when I listened to the first time, I was a bit disappointed at. I didn't think it was as good as the other ones, unfortunately. But I might do another spin and see if maybe my opinion has changed through the years. But it is still that song with genetic engineering and web telegraph and those kind of hits. Yet another interesting cover. missing Junk Culture from 1984. I realized today. It's really high on my wish list, but I'm still missing it. This is Crush that I have on CD. Really great one. So in Love and Secret, La Femme Accident, and really great album. I remember thinking that it was much better than Dazzle Ships. The next one I also have on CD, The Pacific Age from 1986. As you see, that they're releasing albums very fast here. Here we have Forever Live and Die, and we have We Love You, and this is also a really great album with a lot of songs that gives me nostalgia. So really great OMD album. And then they split. Annie McCluskey took over the name OMD and run it as a leader. And then in 1991, normally, the interesting thing is normally when a band splits and one man continues on his own, it isn't all that good sign. Normally the career fades downhill, but when it comes to OMD, it went the other way. It went almost even better, because in 1991 Sugar Tax, which I said before is even though I really love the early 80s OMD, really love these albums, this is my favorite OMD album because it's pure pop music all the way with such amazing songs. We have Sailing on the Seven Seas, who I remember when that one all of a sudden entered the tracks chart and became a huge hit. I was so shocked and happy because it was so great song and a band that I remember from my childhood coming back to hear the hit charts. And Pandora's Box, such an amazing song. Call My Name, also fantastic one, but also the songs that aren't hits are so great also. Speed of Light and Walking on Air, a magnificent ballad. The ballads may not be OMD's biggest strength, but it works here. So really fantastic, amazing album. Sugar Tax. 1993. The next I have only on cassette, unfortunately. Liberator. Might see it as a little bit of continuing on Sugar Tax when it comes musically. Not as strong as Sugar Tax, but still a really great one. And also has some of my absolute favorite OMD songs. Stand Above Me, Every Day, Dream of Me, which I think definitely is one of my absolute favorite OMD songs. I really love the mood in that song. Also love the video, check that one out. Liberator. Remember listening to these songs in 1993 when I was a little bit not all that happy about the music. How the development and thinking, wow, at least an OMD. 1996, synth pop era was way gone, and English music were more about dance music and much indie pop and Brit pop. And Annie McCluskey realized that he has to do an album with less synthesizers, so he released Universal, a little cracked cover, but I bought this one at the record fair many years ago. I don't know, I get the feeling that Annie McCluskey was not all that interested in doing songs with less synthesizers. and in this style. But it became a moderate success. But it is actually a good one, even though it's maybe not sounding all that much OMD. But it is a great one, definitely. But then realizing that the music that OMD had done wasn't all that popular anymore, he disbanded the name, started to produce other artists, which I feel wasn't all that interesting. He produced, among others, girl band Atomic Kitten, which was totally uninteresting. Sounded like any ordinary girl band at that time. It was very uninteresting. They made one of the most horrible covers of Banger's Eternal Flames, among others. So that was maybe the low point in Annie McCluskey's career, in my opinion. And what was Paul Humphries doing at the time? Well, he had different kind of bands. I remember he had a band called Cloud 9 with Claudia Brücken from the German group Propaganda. That released a couple of great songs. But when the OOs began, they all of a sudden, Paul Humphries and Annie McCluskey started to talking again and doing some new music together. And in 2010, all of a sudden, OMD, the original version, reunited and released this one, History of Modern. And they really tried hard to make it sound like OMD from the past, with very much modern style in the edges and in the sound, but still it sounds like OMD from the. It's like they have taken parts from every OMD era and put together in one album with a little modern twist in the sound, which I think is really, really great. And interesting, if you look at this is a CD, but still they have promoted this as a vinyl. As you can see, side 1 and side 2. A real nice touch. So really great albums. Really great album, this one. Missing the two latest one that's been released after that. English Electric from 2013 and The Punishment of Luxury that was released last year, 2017. Also high on my wish list, but judging from what I've heard from the songs of these albums, it sounds real good, and I really want these albums. Not only for the collection, but also because I think they might be real good. Also have a compilation, Messages, released in 2008, and interesting thing about this one is that it contains both a CD with the songs, unfortunately not complete collection though, but it also is with a DVD with the videos, and that one is complete. So DVD and a CD, double set, real great one. So let's move on then to the singles. I have far from complete OMD collection when it comes to the singles. I'm missing every one from the first album, and my oldest OMD single to this date is Enola Gay, And we have The More I See You at the B-side. Making room here. Joan of Arc. At the B-side we have The Romance of the Telescope, unfinished. Maid of Orleans. Navigation at the B-side. Genetic Engineering for Neu, N-E-U, at the B-side. And Telegraph. This was actually the first OMD single I bought. And I bought it had a very long time. I think I bought it around 1991. 66 and Fading at the B-side. Locomotion. Her Body in My Soul at the B-side. Talking Loud and Clear, Julia Song at the B-side. This is definitely one of my absolute favorite OMD songs, Tesla Girls. And live version of Telegraph at the B-side. Really like the happiness in this song. So in Love. Not the strongest OMD song when it comes to the melody, but I love of course the production. Concrete Hands, the B-side. From the movie Pretty in Pink, If You Leave. 88 Seconds in Greensboro at the B-side. Summer Nostalgia for Me, from 1986. 1986 also, Autumn Nostalgia from that year. Forever Live and Die. And This Town at the B-side. One of the songs where Annie McCluskey doesn't do the singing, it's actually Paul Humphries doing the singing. This is a very forgotten classic, also one of my favorites. Very happy song with so great production by Stephen Howe. We Love You. Dub version of We Love You at the B-side. This was not on any album. This was actually a new song that was released for their first compilation in 1988 that I have, but only on a cassette copy so far. Dreaming. And Satellite at the B-side. Now Paul Humphries is gone for a while. Sailing on the Seven Seas. Burning at the B-side. Pandora's Box. All She Wants Is Everything at the B-side. Then You Turn Away. This is a ballad that is really good, but it's definitely not OMD's strongest song. As I said, their ballads may not be my absolute favorites, but they're good, no doubt about it. Sugar Tax, the song on the B-side. CD singles. Stand Above Me. And we have a transcendental constant Viper Trip. Who cares about what long name they have? It contains 2 mixes and the song Can I Believe You at the other tracks. But Stand Above Me also a really great one. I love the mood in that song. And as I said, one of my favorites, Dream Above Me, based on the love theme. And it is a couple of mixes and Strange Sensations and The Place That You Fear the Most. New songs at the other tracks. And Missing Every Day, I really want that single. From Universal album, Walking on the Milky Way. And even though it's less for synthesizers, I really like this song. Really, really great song. And the radio, it is Walking on the Milky Way and Walking on the Milky Way radio edit. And I also found this in the city of Uppsala, in a record store there, for $20. This is a 12-inch of La Femme Accidente, a song from 1985. It says, very limited edition, includes Enola Gay and live recordings of Locomotion. It is USA, Canada, Japan, England import. So this is a limited 12-inch, double 12-inch that is also. And this is the full picture from the Crush album. So, that was my OMD collection. And there are places for more. As I said, I have 3 albums that I'm missing. And I also have singles that I'm missing. A lot of singles. So I love OMD. I like Andy McCluskey's voice because he's he isn't a perfect singer. He has a little, sometimes almost a crying voice, but still it's very, very fitting for the music they're doing. It fits 80s new wave real good. A little naive, little crying voice, but really good for synth pop. And they can make real great melodies with so strong melodies, and it's amazing production with at least in the 80s too, with Stephen Howe, producer. Now OMD of course isn't just a duo. They have other members that aren't visible at all, but the main persons that are shown every time in the media are Andy McCluskey and Paul Humphreys. So I hope it's great to hear now that OMD is back together again. The duo, they're making music and they're still great. So let's hope that they're continuing making albums. So until next time, I have some a little not travelogue, but I visited Timrå once again in April. So I did a little filming there. I'm going to edit it and put it out. So until next time, I hope that every one of you enjoys the start of summer. Take care everybody, and so long.